Good morning, everybody. It's a Monday morning and I'm calling this Boundary Monday, and it's the 22nd of February. So many people are still feeling negative effects of lockdown. Are we easing out of lockdown? Are we not? How long is it going to take? What words come to mind? Are you bored, frustrated, angry, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, and lots more? So I thought setting boundaries was quite a good topic for this morning. I've talked about this before. Now, for those living alone, you might think, oh, I don't have to worry about boundaries. But actually, having or setting boundaries is important for everybody. You still need to have this skill, and it's for healthy relationships, whether these are virtual or actual, whether family, partnerships or work related. So my tips are relevant for everybody. One tip, and I've talked about this before, is to be self-aware. When you're self-aware, you understand your feelings and you respect them. You know that you also know that when someone's invading your privacy, kind of crossing the boundary. You also know when others are invading yours. So it works both ways. You know when a person or a situation is upsetting you, when you're resentful or stressed or uncomfortable. You know what to do in these situations when you're self-aware, and you ask yourself what control you have over the situation. If you find yourself being resentful or stressed with a person or situation, don't worry. You can help yourself by becoming self-aware. And I have talked about this before, and you might want to go back and look at maybe the live video that I did on that. But I've written a book on self-awareness. It's in my Wellbeing series of books, available as a download from my website. Something you have to consider when understanding boundaries is a topic I've also mentioned before. All these topics are linked because they're all to do with well-being, and that's past conditioning and labels. So some questions you might want to ask yourself are, when you were growing up, what labels were you given? What role did you play within the family or home? Were you the carer? Did you learn to always focus on others? Did you let yourself be drained physically, but more than that, emotionally and psychologically? And did you ignore your own needs? If you answered yes to some of these or all of these, then you're ignoring yourself, and your needs was the norm. That became the norm for you because of these labels and past conditioning. Again, don't worry, you should and you must learn to change this, as if you don't take care of yourself, how can you possibly take care of others? You're no use to anyone else. More questions for you if, as an adult in relationships with others, do you have a balanced relationship, whether that's with a partner, a spouse, friends or work colleagues? Is there a give and take in that relationship? Or are you always the one doing things for others? These questions can also apply, of course, as I've said, to the workplace, to colleagues, to family. Are you always the one going above and beyond for others? If you answer yes to these and you find yourself resentful and uncomfortable, you need to start tune in to your feelings, and these are the feelings of resentment and discomfort. Now, take a moment to think of a situation where you felt resentful or you felt discomfort, and write down how you felt, and look at what you've written down and rate this from, say, 1 to 10. Now, I designed my recent book, my lovely book, and thank you for so many people for buying this. So it's The Changing Seasons of Life. It's a creative journal, and it's got blank pages where you can use it as your journal and write down. So think of a situation where you were resentful, you were stressed, and write down how you felt. You can get the book from my website if you want a signed copy. So remember, journaling is very effective. That's writing down, it's kind of actualizing your feelings. So you're then identifying them so that you can take action. Now, we can all feel resentful and feelings of discomfort at times. We're all human. But try to think about the feelings and write them down. If you can rate them between 1 and 5, then that's not too bad. We're all human. But if you're rating them, say, up 6 to 10 in the higher numbers, ask yourself more questions. Why do you feel this way? What or who is causing it? Do other people or even one person always expect you to do things for them? Do you feel taken advantage of? Do you feel that you're not valued or appreciated? If you answer yes to these, then you're doing things partly because if you don't do them, you'll feel guilty. You're pushing yourself often beyond your own limits, or the other person these other people are imposing their expectations, their opinions, their views and values on you. And in short, these people are crossing over or invading your boundaries. So what can you do? Well, you need to know where you stand. You need to identify. This is for you. You need to identify what is acceptable to you and what makes you feel stressed, resentful, overwhelmed, uncomfortable. You need to understand these. So you need to clearly, the next step after identifying this is, you need to clearly and effectively communicate what is acceptable to you to the other person or the other people. And that's where I do recommend my effective communication framework or model. You perhaps remember this. Remember, it was focus, acknowledge, clarify, and respond. And of course, I've talked before about this. Focusing means giving your full attention to something. The acknowledge, and hopefully that's by the other person or by you if you're in a communication cycle. Acknowledge doesn't mean that you're accepting what they're saying. You're just acknowledging you are listening. It can be a nod of the head or a okay. And these things are just to the other person knows that you're effectively listening to them. The next step, which is so often missed by people, and you'll know this yourself in any where arguments arise and where there's been a communication dispute, is because you've not understood the full communication. So clarify is a really vital step. So if you're acknowledging but if you're not fully understanding, say the words like, could you run that by me again? What do you really mean? And focus on what the clarification is and keep doing that till you do understand. And then respond. Now, everybody thinks respond means you're going to accept what's said and do it. Well, it doesn't mean that. Respond means that you're saying, yes, I acknowledge what you've said. I understand what you're saying. I need to think about it. Give me a couple of days. Now, if you truly fully understand and want to accept, you can say, that's fine, I know what I'm doing, I will do it. But so often we don't. So you need to have that, give yourself a bit of leeway. And it's just to say, look, I'll need to think about this and then maybe get back to you. And of course, that's where you can start, when you get the couple of days, you go back again and you can go through the cycle again. So I've got details of how to communicate effectively. I've written about that in another wellbeing book. So my wellbeing series of books on my website as downloads go through various topics, and I do hope to continue to add to them. And if there's a topic you want or we need to discuss, then I'll think about writing another wellbeing book. We all need these for our wellbeing. So think about a time when, you're been communicating to somebody, you're being direct, but the other person they've not understood what you're saying, or they've taken your words the wrong way. They maybe feel you've been disrespectful. Now, being able to communicate clearly and effectively is a vital skill to learn. It's valuable for you in all walks of life, in relationships, at work, in families, or with friends. If you're in a close relationship with someone, of course, and possibly have let your relationship, maybe it's you've just let your relationship become one-sided, or you've no time or space to yourself, all is not lost. You need to be direct, you need to explain your needs, and also that having time and space from each other will actually make your relationship healthier. The other person needs this too. So it's especially true when we've been in lockdown. It's for months now, and we've had no or little space for ourselves, especially if you've been living sort of close together with maybe lots of people in the house. And relationships are much healthier. When you maintain that sense of self, then spending time together becomes healthier. So you need that time and space. Now I can hear you say, no, I don't. It's not that I don't even have the time, but I don't have the space. Well, whether it's family, flatmates, friends, if you've been in lockdown together, you really need to take, what have I talked about before? Go to the little room, just do the ABC, breathing, okay? What might or will hold you back, of course, from setting boundaries is, and lots of us can feel this perhaps, that you'll feel guilty by saying no. You've lived for years saying yes. Even though it drains you, you continue to say yes. Why? Because you want to be that good mother, that good father, that good friend, that good daughter, and so on. Is that you? If it is, you need to give yourself permission to set your own boundaries. Then communicate them effectively, and then you've got to maintain them. So you've got to be consistent. So in every decision you make in a relationship, you have to be consistent. You also need to be assertive, of course, not aggressive when you're communicating your boundaries. Now, you might think that often if we're in a close relationship, you think, the other person knows how I feel. And you think you know how the other person feels. So you think they know when you're hurt or you feel resentment and discomfort. But they don't. So you need to be respectful and let these other people know how you feel. In fact, when you do that, it might come as a surprise to them, but you should agree to work through them and work through these boundaries and the setting of boundaries. If you can work through them together. Now, it's difficult. And why? Because change is difficult and it's small steps at a time. You can do this. Don't do anything that's going to overwhelm you. I know setting boundaries can be daunting. It takes courage, but it's a skill you need to learn. Try to respond with a respectful no. And don't try and add excuses. I know because I'm probably over the years, I'm a bit better. I've always been the yes man. Go to Pat, she'll say yes. So when I tried, and I still do, to say no, I always wanted to say no because or no but. You don't really need to do that. It's just remember you want to be respectful. You're not wanting to upset someone by saying no. So if you do feel the need to sort of say and maybe some explanation, but really it shouldn't be necessary. The next tip, of course, is look after yourself. Be kind to yourself. Self-care is a priority these days. Give yourself permission to put yourself first. It's not being selfish. And of course, that goes back again to past conditioning and labelling. You actually probably, you've been told it's being selfish to do that. It's very important to look after yourself for your mental, emotional, psychological and overall well-being. When you take care of yourself first, you've got more energy. You'll have more of a positive attitude. You'll focus more when you're with others. You will feel that you will have others that are positive being attracted to you. You'll be drawn to you, and it just attracts positive people and positive situations. When you start thinking, of course, about setting boundaries, you'll not find it, it won't be easy. But what you might find, well, actually, I suppose setting the actual boundaries might be easy. You can write down, right, I'm going to do this, this and this. What will be difficult is communicating this to others, particularly if you've let yourself be taken advantage of for years. So if you have, or you're in a relationship that's one-sided, then you should try, maybe, if possible, to sit down together and discuss setting these together. When you manage to do this, you both understand that each of you needs the boundaries as well. You both need to set boundaries. And of course, you've also got to know and understand that you are responsible and accountable for maintaining the boundaries. If, of course, setting the boundaries or communicating that you're setting boundaries now, if that is impossible, then try and bring in the support of other people. Maybe the people you can't get across what you're trying to say because the other person's not listening. So you seek support. Now, there are friends, probably you have trusted friends who know you've been put upon for years, and they'll be aware, so try and maybe seek their support. But of course, at the end of the day, if not, then just seek out professional help. Sometimes in a close relationship, you might need to go down that route, but it will be for the benefit of both of you, of everyone that's involved. Now, of course, remember, changing what you've been doing for years, and when you change, even if it's for the better, other people will not like it. Maybe will, maybe not. It's very difficult because people don't like change, even if it's for the better. But you've got to remember that is their problem. And here's my wee pen here. I'll just wave. Thank you, Eddie and Debbie. Right. Remember, if people don't like the change in you, even if it's for the better, that's their problem. People are afraid. They don't like change. Now, if you've made doing everything for everyone else into a bad habit, and that's what it is, you've just said yes over the years, it's become a habit. Now, if you've been watching my live videos, then you'll know by this time what is it you need to do. You need to create a good habit, and the good habit is using my ABC. The ABC will support you through anything you want to do. They are psychologically effective techniques for improving your overall well-being. They'll help you when you're trying to change your mindset. And of course, never forget the power of the mind. When you change your mindset, you reduce stress, you reduce anxiety, and you improve your overall well-being. You also make better choices. You make better decisions in life. And if you've found that you've been in negative relationships, always surrounded by negative people, that's your own mindset. You've had that little negative voice in your head, and you need to change that. No longer put up with it. The choice and the decision is yours, no one else's. You can't change other people. Remember, you can only change yourself. So all my tips, of course, a lot of this is repetitious, but lots of the tips from my live videos, now that I think we're number 123, so lots of these are still applicable now, no matter what you do. So when you're setting boundaries and trying to change, praise yourself. When you give that first no response, just pat yourself on the back, praise yourself, put it on your achievement board and go, do you know what? I did it. Focus on things you can control and let go of situations you can't control. I'm repeating, you can't change other people. You can only change you. And when you've got a strong sense of self and self-respect, you build strength and you have the courage to move forward with confidence, and you'll be able to set these boundaries. I'll just say hello to Rose. Lovely to see you, Rosie. Beautiful Rosie. Watch out for her. She's going to be in some fabulous films. Definitely a star of the future. So if we go to my ABC now, because I want these to be your good habits. So for today, the affirmation I want you to do, and remember you've got to use the 3 P's: personal, positive, and past or present tense. So the affirmation for today will be, I set boundaries. I am kind to myself. I take care of myself. I love myself. All these are yours. Don't let these negative labels of, you shouldn't be thinking about yourself, it's selfish to do that. It's not selfish to do that. These are labels, and I did the video, was it last week? Ditch the labels that you've been given. You've got to think, are these labels you've given yourself, are they holding you back? Let go of them. And you can do this through your affirmations. B, now if you've been taught drama or elocution, singing, yoga, you'll know that B is for effective breathing. That's the diaphragmatic breathing from the tummy. And that I've got actually a Mindbite video that shows this. You can get that from my website as well. Because effective breathing calms, relaxes, and energizes you. What more could you want? You've probably heard the phrase, if people are getting worked up, it's either take 3 deep breaths, and it gives you time out. So I know that if you're in maybe a lockdown with negative people, and particularly if it's physically abusive, you really need to get out. And that's difficult at this time, but don't never put your own life in danger. But what I'm talking about more, if there's just negativity all around you, don't get involved. Don't respond to these people. Just say, excuse me, and go to the little room. Sit and do the ABC, particularly the breathing. Breathing in through the nose, slowly hold, and then slowly exhale through the mouth. Very effective. The next thing we're going to do today is C. Now, today's creative imagination, I was thinking, in fact, I think the photo I put up was a lovely picture of a garden today. It's a beekeeper's garden. We've got to be kind to the bees, but kind to ourselves as well. But I was thinking, do I do the safe place? But I thought, no, I'll do the golden sphere. The golden sphere now, hopefully, I don't recommend you maybe walk into the golden sphere if you're kind of claustrophobic. But, you know, it's absolutely fabulous for just protecting yourself. So what I thought we'd do is, as always, we get ourselves settled and feet on the ground. Now it's coming out now, it's sunny today, it's still a bit cold, but in the good weather, you'll be able to do these meditations outside in nature. Nature's just wonderful, and you get a new perspective on life. So I want you to put your feet on the ground, on the carpet, and back, sit on the chair with backs not stiff, because you don't want to be stiff, but straight, because posture's really important. If you have a straight back and not sort of slouched, you should really draw yourself up, straight back, and it gives you confidence, and you'll be able to be assertive. You know, draw yourself up, and that's how you will feel more confident. So I want you to sit in the chair, back straight, and then we're just going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Now notice my shoulders aren't going up. That's shallow breathing. If you're bringing, that's shallow breathing. You need to no shoulders up. It's breathe in through the nose, hold, and then exhale through the mouth. So I want you now to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. Now this meditation, it's extremely effective if you want to feel safe and secure and just be kind to yourself. Now I want you to imagine yourself standing on sun-drenched sands. Feel the sun on your face. Feel the warmth. Feel the warmth invade your body and mind. You feel relaxed. Feel the sand on your toes. You look across the sand and you see a golden sphere. You feel its warmth. You feel its glow. Its glow is all around you. You move towards it. You feel the warmth invading your body and mind as you get closer. You feel confidence build in you. You feel secure. Now step inside the golden sphere. Feel its warmth and calm engulf you. You feel protected. You feel safe. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold and then exhale through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold and then exhale. You feel confident. You feel safe. You know you can come here anytime you need or want to feel confident, safe, and secure. Now you can open your eyes and say to yourself, I am confident, I am safe, I am secure. I move forward with confidence and a positive attitude. And then just relax, yawn or stretch your arms or just bring yourself kind of back into the now. Now it's only a couple of minutes or so. These meditations, they're mindfulness meditations. You don't have to do one that's half an hour long. All my mind bites are kind of, I think, under 3 minutes. And I do some that are for specific fears, fear of flying, fear of spiders, agoraphobia, other things. Remember, you can just move forward positively when you have the ABC as your good habit. And thank you to everybody for feedback that I'm getting messages from people saying how the use of the ABC is changing their life for the better. They feel better. And when you're positive, everything around you becomes more positive. You draw positive things and people to you. And of course, I've got 2 other vital tips you all know if you've been watching my videos. What are they? Smile and laugh. They cost you nothing. Find a funny moment in any day, any moment of any day, and laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. So, virtual hugs to all, and until Wednesday. Not sure what I'm calling that. If you've got a title, I thought maybe a follow-up from this might be self-priority or priority, be kind to yourself, something like that. If you've got a title that you would like to suggest and I use that title, then you win an hour's chat with me. What more could you want? You'll be saying, I don't know. Anyway, I know I can chat, and some of my friends can chat probably for hours. Anyway, I hope you would enjoy doing that, and it's confidential. Chat about anything you like. It's just a very relaxed, informal chat. And of course, private message me or post on social media or email me, pat@mindcircles.co.uk if you've got a suggested title. So have a fabulous Monday and a fabulous start to the week. The sun is shining, everything's positive. So don't let anything get you down. Turn these all I can'ts into I can. I am positive. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Until Wednesday, virtual hugs again. Bye everybody.